ACPD, November 11th, sound check 1, sound check 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ACPD meeting on November 11, 2025. We are live, but we are waiting for quorum. So please stand by. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, we do not have quorum, so we are just going to go through the presentations that we have, and then we're going to adjourn. So I don't exactly know the procedure here.
Just go through the agenda as if you.
We
James,
don't do
if we
roll
only
call
have
or anything,
13,
no?
you only need 7.
We have 14.
Yeah. So that's
Do we
8.
not?
Solid. Okay. So do we do ceremonial? Just go straight on to Sheila's. Okay, so we'll just do item for information 7.1. Sheila Duvernay, Manager, Business and Support Services, is present to provide the presentation. Sheila.
Hello, and thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
We can?
I can.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for allowing me into the meeting. I just wanted to review what we've done so far. We are going to be targeting release of our relaunched My.Hamilton portal in Q1 of next year. Some of the things we're looking for in that relaunch, documentation and virtual support for users and troubleshooting, enhanced security and logon experience, wayfinding and search capabilities, quick links, integrated payments, and also we will be reimagining reporting of a problem and asking a question of the city. The artifacts that we've posted for testing, we have some feedback we'd like to share. And if you have feedback you'd like to share with me, that's fabulous. Areas for improvement, consistency in formatting, also validation, and search functionality. Kudos. We have a step tracker that clearly shows progress, and our users are appreciating that. There is an on-screen and email confirmation for anything that has been completed. Information is being pre-populated based on contact information that you are inputting into the contact page, and it's browser agnostic. So the major browsers are all clearly, the user is clearly able to go through the form regardless of the browser. We have testing open for another 2 weeks. So if you haven't had the opportunity to log in and test some of these forms, please do. We'd love to hear your feedback. Is there any feedback you'd like to share with me?
Does anybody have any questions or feedback at this moment? Nobody seems to.
Can I ask a question, James?
Go ahead, Paula.
I wasn't even able to log in on the page. So what am I doing wrong?
Perfect. So what we could do is, Paula, why don't you and I work together and let's see what the issue might be. Can you reach out to me via email and we'll set up some time during the day or evening, whatever is convenient for you. And we'll share screens and we'll see, we'll try and troubleshoot what the problem is so that we can get you in so you can test.
Okay, now remember I use a screen reader, okay?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Chair, do I just ask a question? No. So I do have a question. I did see the list of options to test. Now, I just want to do like a sample run on this. Is there certain things that I should be filling out? Does it really matter what I fill out in these demonstrations?
Very good question. Thank you. Yes, no, you can put in test information, bogus information, make up names. The information isn't relevant unless there's validation on the field. For example, if phone number is validated, you'll have to put in 3 numbers, 4 numbers, something like that, but it doesn't have to be your phone number or any particular phone number. Does that make sense? For testing purposes, you don't have to put in any personal information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not seeing anybody else with their hand up at the moment. I know you just handed it out about a week ago. Maybe some of the members haven't had a chance to try it out yet. I know that I haven't had a full chance to test out the system yet, so.
No problem. It's open for another 2 weeks, so please at your convenience.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Okay, thank you very much, Sheila. We're going to move on then to 7.8, which is Michelle Martin.
Want to use 7.6B?
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that first. Sorry, 7.6B, the ATS Services Performance Review Q2 2025. Please go ahead, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle Martin, Manager of Accessible Transportation Services. Share screen, yes, it's always different on WebEx, sorry. Is it there? Oh, perfect. Okay, so for the benefit of the ACPD, I'm just going to give you the high-level review of the main stats that were reviewed with the Transportation Working Group at the end of October. These are the Q2 performance numbers. We're targeting the November Transportation Working Group for the Q3 performance numbers, and then early in Q1 2026 for the final annual report. So this slide shows system demand by mode, shared ride versus the taxi script service. The shared ride service is provided by the contractor DARTS, it's the door-to-door service, and the taxi script program is the discounted fare up to a limit monthly for eligible persons who are residents of Hamilton. You can see that we've seen a slight decrease from the same period in 2024 from the proportion of trips that are delivered via taxi scripts. So there are vertical blue bars that are representing the proportion of shared ride trips, and then a gold portion at the very top of each bar that presents the relatively small percentage of trips provided by the taxi script service. Figure 2 shows the rate of denied trips. The target is no more than 5% of trips denied. The blue bars show the percentage of trips denied in 2025. So we've seen some improvement in Q1 compared to Q1. In Q1, it was a little bit higher than 2.5% of trips denied. Q2, closer to 2.5% of trips denied. This is still higher than the rate of denied trips in Q1 and Q2 of 2024, as shown by the gold line on the graph, but lower than the rate of denied trips at the end of 2024. Figure 3 shows the number of applications to accessible transportation services that were approved by service. It's over 90% of applications approved for service, and the vast majority are found fully eligible for service. It hasn't really changed much Q1 to Q2. There's a slight decrease in the number for applications approved for service in 2024. One factor there is the number of applications that are initially sent back because they haven't been completed correctly, but then are subsequently completed correctly. And so the majority of those end up approved for full eligibility. Figure 4 shows the proportion of contractor calls answered within 5 minutes. The blue bars show that we are on a trend of improvement. Since Q1 to Q2, we were slightly over 70% in Q1, answered within 5 minutes, getting closer to 75% in Q2, answered within 5 minutes. The gold line shows the trends across 2024, and we can see that they were just at or slightly under 70% or between 65 and 70%. And so we can see that there has been improvement year over year to date, Q2 2025. Figure 5 shows the number of late trips provided by the on-street service through the contractor DARTs. In 2025 Q1 and Q2, we are coming up to about 2,500. I don't have the exact number in front of me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my report printed before I ran over today, but the exact numbers are in the detailed report that are also provided as attachments to the agenda today. And this is a higher rate than year-to-date Q2 2024, as shown by the gold line on the graph, and hovering at about the same rate of late trips or number of late trips as was delivered in Q4 of 2024. And so figure 6 looks at late trips from another angle. We call this on-time performance. The industry best practice, as shown by the black line across the top, is 99%. That is the industry best practice of 99% trips delivered on time. The minimum goal is 95% of trips delivered on time. In 2025, Q1, Q2, we are at slightly above 98% of trips delivered on time. This is a bit lower than the trends over 2024 that are shown by the blue line across the top, where we were closer to 99% for most of 2024, and then dipping closer down to 98% at the end of 2024. Figure 7 shows the number of accessible transportation services and DARTs commendations and complaints per 1,000 DARTs trips, year-to-date Q2 2025, and also comparing to Q2 2024. The industry best practice for both commendations and complaints is 1 per 1,000 trips. We have a slight increase in complaints, closer to 2.5 per 1,000 trips in Q2 of 2025. This is, however, down from Q2 2024, where we were getting close to 4. I think it was around 3.8 per 1,000 trips at year-to-date Q2 2024. So definitely a great deal of improvement there. Commendations are hovering at around 0.5%. 0.5 commendations per 1,000 trips, down slightly from Q2 2024, compared to year-to-date Q2 2025, but still quite respectable. And sorry, my mouse isn't cooperating, and that is the end of the presentation. Of course, there are more detailed figures in the report, and I'd be pleased to take any questions from the group.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Do I have any questions for Michelle? I see Paula's hand up right away.
The lower number of taxi script trips, could that be due to the lack of accessible taxis? Being as we don't have hardly any.
So it's difficult to know precisely why. It may be because of lack of accessible taxis, although the split of ambulatory or people without mobility devices compared to people who use mobility devices who travel by taxi is roughly 80% to 20%. I'm just going to ask Marco Mustacci, who's with us here today, if he can confirm that proportion.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, Michelle, 80% ambulatory, 20% non-ambulatory.
So that may be a factor. The other factor that has come up, of course, is affordability. Even with the discount, it may be difficult for some people to afford the fare compared to fare to travel on the specialized service, which is the same as a transit fare.
Right. I just, pre-COVID, we had 40 accessible taxis. I think now, if we're lucky, we have 10. And there is no guarantee they're going to be on the road. So I know that is a big factor, and I know we're going to do something about it. Transportation, trying to anyway, to improve that, right? So, I mean, it must be one of the factors that changes the numbers, right? So, okay, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. I see Councillor Tattison's hands up. You're muted, Councillor.
Excuse me on that. Hi, Michelle. Would it be possible to go back to slide number 5 on your presentation and put it up for us?
Certainly just doing that now.
Thank you. So I'm seeing, and when I look at 2024 and I see sort of a dip in that yellow line, and we're kind of trending in the opposite if we were to do a line for 2025. What's the year over year when I'm saying like from 2024, I'm saying like what's been, pre-COVID, what is that pattern? It almost looks like the yellow line almost looks like a V pattern. Is that normal per year, or is what we're doing now normal?
Through the chair, thanks for the question, Councillor. We don't have the stats from this software going back pre-COVID. Okay. So yeah, that would be difficult to say, although I think we've been tracking it since 2023 or reporting it since around 2023 or possibly the end of 2022. I'll have to go back and look at my previous reports. And that should give us a good compilation to provide as part of the annual report. I do know that there was some, there were some challenges, some outages, as I recall, in mid-year in 2024 that probably impacted the numbers there. But overall, since Q3 of 2024, we've seen a steady climb back up again.
Okay, so that's good. So, and then when it says contractors calls answered within 5 minutes, is there any, and I'm assuming that what we're looking at on the left-hand side is a percentage, correct?
That's correct. So
is there any information that can be shared with, what are the actual number of calls coming in? You see what I'm saying? Like if I have to answer 1,000 calls, it's a lot easier to make, 100% if it's only 500 as opposed to 1,000. Do you see what I'm saying with that piece?
Yes, I do. If you'll permit me, I can just stop sharing the slide and go to my numbers in the report, if that's helpful. Yeah. And I'll just find the table. Yeah, so year to date, Q2 2025, we had 224,401 inbound calls. Year to date, for the same period, year to date Q2 2024, we had 209,037 inbound calls. So I would say that's communicating an improvement even despite the increased number of calls.
Thank you. Okay, that's good news. Thanks for sharing that. I did have a question about slide number 6 as well, but I think I'll probably pull it to offline maybe.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Any other questions or comments for Michelle? Okay, I got a couple questions then, if nobody else has any. Taxi scripts, again, whenever you bring taxi scripts, it always feels like we're missing information because as Paula pointed out, we are. That's run by bylaw. You run the taxi script program. So it's very hard to, there's always seems to be questions when you come up with statistics for taxi scripts. What I'd like to ask is if it's possible for the Q3 reporting, I don't expect it to be a regular thing, but in this case, just to give us an idea, can we get, say, 2018, 2019 numbers put next to it, just so that we can see what it looks like when we know that the service is working well?
We can, and I can go back further than 2019. In the 2024 annual report that was provided last year, we did include 2019 numbers there as well. So I can look at it right now if you like. I can just find it quickly in my...
If you wouldn't mind.
Sure, not at all. Let me just take a look. Right, and we provided that report for you guys in May. So let's find the comparison. Okay, and the table tells me that in 2019, 8.1% of trips were provided by through the taxi script program, compared to 3.8% in 2024. I will say, however, 2020, 2021, we were still seeing 9.1% of trips delivered through the taxi script program. And then it started to decrease in 2022 to 5.8%, then to 4%, then to 3.8% in 2024.
Thank you very much. I do know a couple of things happened in there. There was a rate increase, which also would have affected taxi scripts, but knowing like it's almost double the usage from before when it was working tells us that there's something definitely going wrong with the taxis there. Thank you very much. I also do have a question. You have the complaints and commendations for ATS. Does that include persons with disabilities complaining on HSR? I know ATS doesn't cover HSR, but that would technically be in that category, I would believe.
No, that count does not. It covers the complaints processed by the Accessible Transportation Services Customer Care Team.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other questions for, oh, Hargan, I see you there. Hello. Are there any other questions or comments for Michelle? No? Okay, so we're just going to move on to 7.8 then, next, which is a report on the request for information, transportation network companies for persons with disabilities citywide. Go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you, Chair. I can review the contents of the memo for the benefit of the group if you would like that. Okay. So just reading and summarizing along, in March of this year, the Accessible Transportation Services Division issued what's called a request for information through the Procurement Division to gather information about possible transportation network companies from possible transportation network companies regarding their interest in and ability to provide door-to-door transportation options for persons with disabilities. We received 18 submissions in response to the RFI, and it is important to remember that the RFI process is simply a market research exercise, and it is not a competitive procurement process. The RFI responses provide us with information regarding the availability of vendors generally to respond to a future request for proposals or tenders to complement services that are currently provided. And the information will allow staff to explore opportunities to align specialized transit with expansion of the HSR's MyRide on-demand service to improve flexibility of options, increase options for travel. So we provided a communication update to council regarding this in March of 2025, and in that update, we committed to sharing as much as possible about these results with the Accessibility Committee for Persons with Disabilities as we investigate service delivery options. And we're investigating service delivery options to improve customer experience, allow for more spontaneous travel, and assist staff in planning for contingencies in the event of any circumstances that prevent trip demand from being met. We provided you, the ACPD, with the summary of the key findings based on the overall respondents from the respondents to the RFI. And the results that we've summarized for you are very general because they must comply with the City of Hamilton's procurement bylaw and avoid identifying any individual respondent. So we received 18 submissions and we reviewed them for the following key capabilities and features, just for our own information about the market. Operator training specific to providing persons with disabilities, ability to provide specialized accessible transit service, ability to provide scheduling and on-demand service, ability to interface with existing software, video surveillance capability, and flexibility of fare payment methods. We had some capabilities and features that were the most consistently reported, and these were the ability to provide specialized transit service, operator training specific to disability, scheduling and on-demand service, and the ability to accommodate persons traveling both with and without mobility devices. The less commonly capabilities and features that were reported were flexibility of fare payment methods, software interface capability, and vehicle video surveillance capability. So the results suggest strong commitment across the industry to provide specialized transit service that reflects some operational readiness and some notable gaps. And as we continue longer-term service planning, we will be giving consideration to vehicle accessibility, software integration for efficient and more spontaneous scheduling, passenger safety and privacy, and flexible fare payment options. These considerations, along with the results from the Accessible Transportation Services Customer Survey, will inform the questions that we bring forward for future consultation with members of the Accessibility Committee for Persons with Disabilities. And that, I think, brings me to the end of the contents.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for Michelle? Okay, Paula's got one.
Yeah. You said you brought some information in March, was it, Michelle, to ACPD?
We sent a communication update to council, and then we informed ACPD as well of the communication update. As I recall, it was by email to the chair.
Okay. Is there any chance you could resend that? Because I don't remember seeing it, that's all.
If I'm remembering correctly, this is the one that put out the initial request. Was this not the update where you put out the request to have it reviewed?
The request to have
this done, the RFI, was that not when it went out?
Yes, correct. It was in March.
Yes.
Yeah, and the
okay.
update was provided. Yes, but
Okay,
I can
then.
resend.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's me. I'm gone crazy. It's okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I've got a couple. First off, was there any, you know, you can't tell me, but was there any group hitting all the marks?
I can't speak to individual respondents, but I can say that the ones that were most consistently reported, I can give you those percentages, and they're in the body of the memo. Just in the interest of brevity, I wasn't going through all of the detail. But the ability to provide specialized transit service was indicated by everyone. Operator training specific to disability was indicated by over 90% of respondents. Scheduling and on-demand service was indicated by over 85% of respondents. And ability to accommodate persons both with and without mobility devices was indicated by about 72% of respondents.
Okay, thank you. So then, What's the next step with this? What new information did you glean out of this that you didn't have beforehand?
What we gleaned was just generally the level of commitment across the industry to the ability and the interest in providing such a service. And as stated in the memo, our next steps are to take that information, to take a look at the survey results, to craft questions for consideration, bring them to the ACPD, or even to have the ACPD tell us, you also need to be asking X, Y, and Z, right? So I would look for that early in the new year.
Okay, thank you. I think I had the hard time I had understanding that the memo was, I didn't really have the questions that you asked in the first place. So trying to understand the context of the responses without the questions, I found a little difficult to follow. So.
Yeah, I understand that. That would have been part of the posting and bids and tenders.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Any other questions for Michelle before I let her go? And I guess all of us, because we don't have quorum. I am seeing none. Okay, well, thank you very much, Michelle. I appreciate you coming and reporting that. And have yourself a great night. And I don't know what else we do. We just sign out, say goodbye, everybody. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming out. I'm sorry that we didn't have quorum. I really do appreciate you making the effort. Sorry we missed the last two meetings. So hopefully we have a successful December meeting. This is the first time we've missed quorum. So I was hoping we wouldn't hit that, but we did. Go ahead, Councillor Tedison.
Hi, I just want to ask the clerk, what's the official number that we have on the books right now?
There are 13 members plus yourself, Councillor.
Okay, so that's 14, correct?
That's correct.
So do we need, okay, so that's 14 as opposed to just myself. So 50% doesn't make it. It's 50 plus 1, right?
Correct.
Okay, so are there any of the 13 that are currently on there that have not attended and are not active participants? And you don't have to name them, just James?
That is correct. There are some members that have not attended.
And are there some, but I'm assuming that none of the members who have
No,
been...
Councillor Tedison, I'm told that we're still live, so we're going to have to take this offline. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.